Okay. Here's the sitch. I don't know. I was gonna clean up my room while I did this video, but whatever, we're sitting here. Hey guys. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Claire. If you are new here, we talk about books, that's it. I don't know, sometimes I do lifestyle stuff, but books. Let me explain myself a little bit. Obviously, since I've come to college, I've been slacking on reading a lot because when I was at home last semester and when I was doing winter break and I had no class at all, obviously it's really easy to read an extreme amount because I have nothing else to do, you feel? Now that I'm taking 20 credit hours and I'm finally making new friends and I get to explore the city that my school is in, it's just like, not always gonna sit in my room and read a book. Like sometimes I will, but you know, there's other stuff to do. That's when I've had to kind of reevaluate my life and Goodreads. I made my goal initially at the beginning of this year to be 80 books. Don't know why I did that, because I knew what I was signing up for, yet I still was like, 80 books is not gonna be a big deal. And I knew what classes I was signing up for. I think 60 is more believable, and that's more, if it's not at 60 now, it should be at 60, because that's 5 books a month. That's still crazy, but who knows what I'm going to do this summer. So who knows, I might catch up. I've only read like 13 books this year, I think, and it's mid-April. And that's the other crazy thing, that for, I think the majority of the population, maybe, at least the people I know, 13 books in a whole year is an extreme amount. So me being disappointed with myself for 13 books in 4 months, what is that, about 3 books a month? Like, I shouldn't be knocking myself, yet I am. And that's, I kind of think, where booktube toxicity jumps in. And I'm very much so trying to knock that out, because it's, Anyways, I just kind of want to do like a what I'm reading right now kind of thing. I don't know. So I've got my handy dandy reading journal here. This is my reading journal spread. Breakfast at Tiffany's themed. Yeah. The books that I've read so far this month, I have not updated my journal, but I read Daisy Jones and the Six. Started in March, finished it in April, read the audiobook. I gave it 3 out of 5 because I was kind of super bored and it felt like it lacked like a lot of substance in the middle, but I actually enjoyed it and I kind of kept forgetting that these people weren't real. If you don't know what Daisy Jones and the Six is about, it is a memoir of a fake band, fictional band called The Six that began to collab with this woman named Daisy Jones, and it's just kind of a memoir of their crazy lives being rock and roll stars in the 1970s. And I thought that there was a depth within the characters, but the plot was kind of boring because it was just the characters existing, and so that's just kind of a fault on me because I read really, like, I feel like I wanted more action, and that's not really what happens in a memoir, so it's more on me that I gave it 3 stars more than the actual content of the book. Does that make sense? It's a good book. I'd recommend the audiobook rather than just like sitting down and reading it though. The second book that I've read recently is Love is a Revolution by Renee Watson. Okay. Love is a Revolution is a great story, okay? So it's about this girl named Nala who is a young teenager, I think she's 16, growing up in Harlem, and she lives with her cousin and her family. And she meets this guy named Ty, who is kind of a social justice activist, and it's a really big part of his life. And so she lies and says that she's also a social justice activist, and she's like the farthest thing from that. And so it's her basically just like snowballing her lie, and yeah, that's kind of it. I liked this book because Nala happens to be a plus-sized, dark-skinned black girl, and I think that there's a very big lack of visibility of people who fit those descriptions, and so it was very refreshing that she could be a plus-size dark-skinned black girl without her entire story relying on her being a plus-size dark-skinned black girl. Like, she could just like live her life and also happen to be that without it being like a Precious type story, if that makes sense. And so I really appreciated that, and the only reason why I gave it 2 out of 5 stars, I feel like this is another one that was on me, because the way Nala talks about Ty and his friends who are the social justice activists kind of felt like how I act. Like, I felt like I resonated with Ty a lot because he's always wondering like how he can help his community, and the t-shirts he wears and all that kind of stuff. And I feel like when I was in high school, that's how people talked to me and my friends, the way she talked to them, and I just didn't really like that, and so it really turned me off. And so again, it's on me, not on the book. And I feel like Nala didn't really learn anything. Like, she was more sorry that she got caught in her lies rather than being sorry that she lied. Does that make sense? And it's not a spoiler. Obviously, you know, this isn't gonna work out for her. Like, come on. So that's what I've read recently, I think, since I've posted my last video. Yes? No? Let's check. yeah, so that's about it. So what am I reading now? Let me go over to my trusty bookshelf and let you guys know. Found it. That was really hard. God. Okay, here's what I plan in my life to read next. So, I don't like really doing TBRs because it stresses me out and it makes me really disappointed when I don't finish. Like in my last spread, if you watch that video, you can see where I have a bunch of things that I never finished. I never finished most of these. And so it's just really disappointing that I did that because I don't usually do TBRs. I've tried that in the past and it just didn't really work out. And so this is just kind of what is on deck. Instead of a TBR, it's just like in my whole bookshelf. So is that a TBR? It's not the same thing though. In my head, it's not the same thing. Let's not make it the same thing, okay? Okay. The romance section. Yeah. I am going to read the Bridgerton series. I want to read all of the books before I watch the series. I haven't seen it yet. So I want to go through these Harlequin I know it's in the Regency era. I'm gonna do these. So I first have The Duke and I, which is Daphne and Simon. I started this 36 pages in. And then I also bought The Viscount Who Loved Me, which is about Anthony and Kate. I don't know. I haven't seen the show. I'm sure some of you guys are like, ah! I don't know what that is. Anyways, yeah. So these are the first two. There are 7. It's gonna take a while. Next, I want to read Playing in the Dark by Toni Morrison. This is a pretty small group of essays, I believe, that is about whiteness and the literary imagination, and so it's nonfiction, and I just feel like I should read it as someone who is an English major. You know, obviously I'm gonna have to do my Brit Lit, obviously I'm gonna have to do my American literature, and those are gonna be very whitewashed because history is whitewashed, and so I want to have this as kind of a foundation before I delve deep into my major. So yeah, I'm gonna read this. Actually, I think I'm gonna start this today, so I'm very excited about that. The next book on my TBR, I suppose, is My Year of Rest and Relaxation by Otessa Mosfeg. I just hear a lot of really good things about it, and a lot of reviewers that I enjoy hearing from recommend this. So this is about a woman in New York. The narrator is a girl who looks like she would have all she wants in life. Like, she's rich, she lives in New York, she has a boyfriend, stuff like that, but she's unhappy, and so she goes to a therapist. There's a hole in her heart, and it isn't just lost for her parents or the way her Wall Street boyfriend treats her. It's the year 2000 in a city of glitter with wealth and possibility. What could go so wrong? So I feel like it's going to be insightful because I feel like a lot of people talk about, oh, you're rich, you're famous, you know, boyfriend, how could you be unhappy? And then it's just kind of like, well, that's not how mental illness works, you know? And so I'm very excited to read this. Yeah, I wanted to read it for a really long time, so I'm glad I bought it. And then the last one, I know I say this every time I do a TBR, but I'm gonna finish Dune, okay? I only have about 100 pages left. We've already got the Muad'Dib, okay? I'm getting there. I'm getting there. So yes, thank you for coming along this chaotic ride with me about books that I probably will never read, but I keep telling you that I will. Yeah, overall, just college has been very chaotic, especially in the era of coronavirus. Contact tracing. Thank you so much for watching. Let's hope I upload on time next week. And never uploading on time, and you guys still watch. It's very nice of you. So thank you. I love you. Air hug. Okay. Like, subscribe, stay a while if you want. Am I holding a video? Did I do this right? I probably didn't. Maybe it's over here. I don't know. Alright. Bye, guys.